Hey everybody, my name's Dave, and I've recently taken up woodworking.
I want to tell you why, but first, let me tell you a little bit about me.
See, I'm 41 years old, I've got 4 kids, a beautiful wife, a pretty cool dog, a pretty dumb cat, a decent house in the suburbs, and a pretty good job that I enjoy. And from the outside looking in, everything seems perfect with our family. But it's not quite all that it seems. You see, about a year and a few months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And as the doctors were all too eager to tell me at that point, there is no stage 5. And as it turns out, there's really no cure either. So, at 41 years old, it looks like I'm sort of running out of time. And so that's one of the reasons I decided to become a woodworker. And it may seem like an odd choice of things to do, but after the initial shock had set in, I had realized that time is my most precious commodity, and that with the time that I had left, I should do something meaningful and lasting. And so I decided, what's more meaningful and potentially lasting than to build things? So I convinced my wife to turn our garage into a little tiny shop, and I bought the best tools that I could afford with our limited budget, and I got to work making things. And it turns out it's really therapeutic and very rewarding, actually. And at first I didn't know what to make or what to do, really. But I was kind of drawn to the edge grain cutting board. And for a couple of reasons, I suppose. I mean, there's a simple elegance to an end grain cutting board that's just beautiful and timeless. And it turns out people really enjoy getting them. You know, despite my recent bout of bad luck, I consider myself a very lucky person. And the reason I say that is because upon the hearing of my situation, my friends and family rallied around me and helped me to cope. And they also did some really amazing things, like organized a fundraiser to help me pay for my therapy. Because as we know, getting sick in the USA, even if you have insurance, is not cheap. And so they organized a beautiful event, and they raised some money. And as a thank you, I built some of my closest friends who had organized that event some cutting boards. And I believe that they were genuinely happy to get them. And the thing about a cutting board, especially one handcrafted that's built to last, is that it will outlive me by many orders of magnitude. And as that sits on their kitchen countertop, you know, a piece of me lives on with that. And there's something oddly, smallly satisfying about it. And they're also a conversation piece. If you have a beautiful cutting board sitting on your counter, people will ask you about it. And that's an opportunity for my friends and people who have these boards to tell my story, even if it's just a quick one. And so I'll live on through that. Now the board that I'm making here is actually for my wife. My wife is an amazing person, and she has had so much to bear, and she does everything for me and for our house. She still has 4 kids to take care of, and now she has me. And my poor wife has sat on the sidelines as I built these cutting boards for everyone else. And finally, I was able to make hers. And so, this particular board is special. Not just because it's for my wife, but because of the woods that it's made out of. The border, of course, is just a simple maple. But the main part of the board is zirconia, which is a South American hardwood. Beautiful dark wood, hard as nails. In fact, I had to go at least 2 passes on the table saw just because it was so hard. But I cleaned up the edges and got it together. And this board is going to turn out beautiful. And my wife deserves every ounce of that beauty. And not only will my wife appreciate it, put it on our countertop for years to come, but my kids will also recognize it as something that I made. And every time they see it, or every time they use it, I'd like to think that maybe they'll think about me. One thing that I'm trying to instill in my kids with the time that I have left is that they should live their life doing meaningful things. Things that they're passionate about. And I'm trying to show them that. Even if it's as silly as building cutting boards, it's still something that I take a great deal of pride in. And I want them to see that. I hope it reflects on the choices that they make later on in life. Now, I should note that it may sound like I'm just running out the clock until I meet my untimely demise, but that's absolutely not the case. I'm fighting with every fiber of my being to stay alive as long as I can for these kids and for my wife. And we've done everything from complete lifestyle change to diet change, consulting with oncologists all over the country, speaking to nutritionists and holistic doctors, everything in between. And so far so good. I mean, here I am. I'm still alive. And both my wife and I are holding out hope that this doesn't have to be the end. Maybe there is some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. But we just have to keep moving forward and living our lives. And that's really one of the reasons that I started this YouTube channel, was not only to share my journey with my family and friends and whomever else may want to come along for the ride, but to share some of the ideas and the projects that I have and that I want to get done. before whatever happens. I've got a lot of fun stuff planned and a lot of things that I want to do. And I have one special project for the kids that I've been working on that I'm excited to share with all of you. Now, I don't purport to be an expert on any of these projects that I'm involved in. In fact, I'll admit I fumble my way through most of them. If there are any seasoned woodworkers that are watching this, they probably point out 12, 15 mistakes that I've made just in this short edited video. But I learn a little bit each time, and I'm getting a little bit better. And I'm having fun while I'm doing it. And there's so much that I want to share. Not just other wood projects, but recipes that I've learned, and construction projects around the house, and even just general musings on philosophy and existential situations. So now's a good time to thank you for watching this video with me. I hope you found it interesting. And I hope you come back for the next installment. Now, I can't promise a happy ending to this journey, but what I can promise is that we're going to have some fun along the way. So I hope to see you again on the next one. Until then, thanks for watching. How's it working?
It's great. Love it.
All right.